Hey there, YouTube. Justin Johnston, Tinker and Toil here. I bought the cheapest plasma cutter on Amazon, and we're gonna find out today if it cuts. So I just got this today. I was looking for a plasma cutter and was looking all over on like Marketplace for a cheap one. I was hoping to get like a Miller. I have a Miller welder, and I really like Miller, but like the Miller Spectrum cutters, they're like $2,500, and I was finding them online for like $1,000 to $1,500 used, and that was just out of my price point. So this is on Amazon, and with like 80 bucks off, I got this for 189 bucks. And I figured even if it only lasts a little while, it was probably good enough for the amount of cutting that I do. It had good reviews on Amazon. I'm obviously concerned that it's so cheap. It was the cheapest plasma cutter on Amazon. Let's see, this one, I think this one is supposed to be I can't remember if this is the 50 or the 55, but you can see like these models. This one I think is the 7 Gen, and I have no idea what the 7, 9, and 10, what the differences are. On Amazon, the 9 was like 20 bucks more, the 10 was like 20 bucks more than the 9, and I have no idea what the differences are, but they all seem the same. Just looking at it, initial thoughts, the lead, just looking at the wire, I'm not sure if you could tell the difference here. This is the lead on my Miller. The wire is very similar. This is just a little bit smaller, lower gauge than the Miller-Matic. But the lead itself looks fine. It's got a lot of strength for clamping down. Does not feel chintzy. The lead. So the Miller, the welder, the lead, is like 3 times the size of this. So I'm hoping, I'm not sure if the plasma should have as big of a lead as a welder anyways. So that's the connecting area. It'll connect in the plasma and be what, gives it electricity flow. Comes with a little bit of air hose. I'm planning to connect this to my air compressor, this one. And I was a little concerned, reading online about what amount of air you need for in a plasma. They talk about the cubic feet per minute that is best used when you're using a plasma torch, and 4 is sort of the minimum that I've read about. 6 is okay, 8 is good, or maybe it's 10 is good, and 12 is great. Like that, you will always be happy if you have 12 cubic feet per minute. You can see this rigid, it's only going to produce 2.6 at 90 psi, and it's the 90 psi that matters. I think 40 is another that you'll see on air compressors. So I'm just going to hope that the gallon, this one's a 6 gallon, I'm hoping that that's enough, just sort of stored air to do the cuts that I want to do. I guess we'll find out. One other thing, you need to make sure the air is dry, and I ordered another item on Amazon that looks like a filter, and it'll mount to like the back here, but it's like a 3-stage air dryer and filter. It's the winter right now here in Pittsburgh. The air is really dry, so I'm not going to wait for that to come before I test this out. I'm going to be testing it out just with regular air. The difference is going to be that I'll probably burn through consumables pretty fast if I do a lot of cutting. I'm not gonna plan to do a lot of cutting. I'm just gonna test the unit. This is the gun. Let's see. The gun itself, it's got a little guard so that you can't accidentally pull the trigger. It feels, you know, there's a little bit of weight to it, so it feels pretty good. Just looking at the tip, just looks like any other plasma cutter. Let's look at the other end, the leads and the connections. So it's going to take the compressed air. So it's just going to be a regular air hose. And this will take the electricity part. I guess I would have expected maybe a little heavier gauge wire for that, but this feels a little bit, you know, lightweight and like, so I guess the tension on this is going to be more held by the air hose than by the wires. So it's going to be the strength of the air hose that kind of protects everything and tells you kind of how heavy or strong this is. This is just a sort of pretty flimsy plastic. It's not nearly as heavy as I would like. It's not like a firm, relatively like HDPE type of material. And it's not, I mean, it probably is an HDPE, but it's pretty, just feels like a thin vinyl. I think some people say they get leather covers for these, and I can see why. If you don't do a whole lot of cutting, it probably doesn't matter. Let's see. So the end of the gun has this ball joint. It has like a ball joint on the end so that you don't over twist and wear out the hose at this end by kinking it right at the hose. I don't know. Initial thoughts. It definitely does not feel as high quality as a Miller machine, but I don't have a Miller plasma really to compare it to. I'm just comparing it to my Millermatic. I think I have a Millermatic 211. Yeah, Millermatic 211 wire feed welder, my MIG. I really do like this MIG. But I don't know, we're gonna give this a shot. We'll test it out, we'll see how it goes. All right, well, let's give it a shot. I will say this part is a little bit, I guess a little guard, but I don't know, let's see. I will say that it is drawing a lot. I've got it hooked up to a power strip and it's tripping the power strip. So I will need to get it plugged into an actual wall. But it did cut. When I was kind of moving a little bit fast, I do wish maybe the machine had like a holster. That would be good. But it did, you know, it cut. I just need to get a better setup for power. Let me see what I can come up with. I plugged it directly into a wall outlet, so it's not in the power strip. It is still running on 110. We're not running on 220 right now. And just running off that 6-gallon pancake. I'm going to try and start where I left off. And it does the job. gonna just try cutting. Actually, I'll just cut it all the way. I'll see how I can make that turn. All right, so I am just freehanding this. I don't have a nice straight edge or anything, so not a perfect cut, but all right, so you can see it does leave just a very little bit of slag on the bottom side. This is just freehanding, like I said, so it's not perfect, but that's a good, if I had a freehand cut, or sorry, a straight guide, I think this would be a pretty perfect cut. I like it. Not bad. You know, and just freehanding it, I was able to, you know, I could tell that you would be able to cut designs out if you really were focused and practiced at it. And this is bed frame. It's about an 1/8 inch thick material. And the 110, man, it cut through it great. I'm impressed. Cool. All right, YouTube. So there you have it. It's a good, it does exactly what any other plasma cutter would do. So I don't see why you would want to spend a ton of money on the Millers or any of the other ones. I have no idea the longevity of this one, but you know, I'm told that it'll cut up to 1/2 inch material. I don't have any 1/2 inch material. I do have some aluminum. Maybe I'll try that and see how well it does with aluminum. I've never actually cut aluminum with a plasma. I don't know if it'll work. Let's find out. All right, this is not, well, I think maybe this is an 1/8 inch thick aluminum. It's probably somewhere right along in there. Just a little piece of short bar. I just want to see if it cuts through it or not. Well, let's find out. I think it will. All right, so 1/8 inch aluminum stock. It was struggling to get through this, which I kind of expected for aluminum. So I'm not even going to try. I have some 1/4 inch stock. I'm not even going to try it, at least not on the 110. Aluminum, it will cut. You know, you can see it did get through it. Left a lot more slag on the back end. And I had to go a lot slower than I did last time with the steel. But it does go through aluminum. Okay, so I've plugged into the 220 and cranked up the unit now to 40 amps. I think it goes all the way to 50. But I'm going to try with 40 and just see if this will cut. I'm not going to put a lot of thought into it. I'm just going to try and do like a little circle or something here in the end just to see if it will cut. Wow. I like it. 1/4 inch aluminum. And man, did it just do. I started out thinking I would just go slow. And then I just decided to rip it. And look at that. It's a nice clean cut. On aluminum. 1/4 inch thick aluminum. Actually, this might be like 3/16. But man, did it just burn through that. Nice, smooth, clean cut. That is spectacular. I wonder, like, if at 30 amps it'll still do as well. Let's find out. So I just turned it down to 30 amps. Okay, so look at that. I mean, it cuts pretty clean. You know, it's just freehanding, and yeah, that's pretty good. I had to slow down at 30 amps compared to 40. At 40, it was just ripping. That works great. I'm impressed for 189 bucks. Wow. Okay, so this came later this evening, and so I'm going to show you this. So this is intended to be an air filter and a dryer. So these two are micron filters, and these two are dryers. It comes with these 2 bags of desiccant right there. So you fill these with desiccant, and this will have a gauge on it. And somehow we have to get the connections all set up so that it connects in here and leaves over here, or vice versa. I'm not sure which way it's supposed to go. I have the directions. I'm reading them now, and we're going to figure this out. So the first thing I need to do is make sure that I get, it came with the tape. I don't necessarily trust that tape gets things in these pressure systems to be good enough. I'm going to be using a little bit of this compound and try to get everything nice and airtight. All right, so first thing I am going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of the joint compound. I'm just going to squeeze a little bit on there. Dab it with my fingers just to get it into the threads. This is after I put the tape on. So both compound and tape. I'm just going to cinch that down. Does this tell us which way? All right, so in is here, this side. And so, let's see. Comes with this. Oh, that's like a full half turn. I don't think I've seen. That's a different type of ball valve. So it opens and closes. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this some more. Okay, got the tape on, a little bit of the compound. Being tied directly in. So I'm going to put that right straight into this end. Right, we're going to do this end. All right, 9/16 it is. I'm gonna guess this is probably actually like metric or something. Okay. So we need to be able to connect into the back. And to do that, I'm going to assume this is the right size. I just happen to have one of these, luckily. Okay. Of course, that's going to be bigger now. Let's see. 3/4. Yeah, that seems to do it. Okay. I don't know if I need to get it really, really tight. I think that's pretty tight. I'm going to cheat. I have an extra one of these. This is, you know, for regular tools, and has already an end attached. And so this will fit here, I believe. All right. Okay. And now I have this. And this can get a quick connect. All right. So we have a 9/16 on one side, 5/8 on the other. Get that nice and tight. There we go. Now, we need to fill it with some sort of, with the desiccant. This desiccant comes well packaged, which I guess needs to be the case, so you prevent any water getting into it. Okay. So that works. First stage. And there's, I don't know if there's anything special about this other than it's just two. I'm just going to hold my finger over that and pour the rest of these beads in. All right. Looks like one bag will fill both of these little sections pretty well. All right, so I think we have it. I don't know if I like, I think I might build some sort of stand for this that connects on the back here. So here's the machine here, and you can see it has a way to connect the air on the back with a quick connect. So I am just gonna there we go. So the whole thing is connected. And then I have this and this. So I can add air. Okay, it's perpendicular currently, and then this is supposed to adjust the airflow. Okay. It's not quite getting enough. Oh, look at that. That makes a difference. So we definitely need to have a stand for this, because if it is not well seated right there, then it doesn't get air flowing quite right. All right, so I am definitely going to need to get like a bigger compressor. I have to get a stand now for my air filter, air dryer. And I think with those two things, I think we're in real business with this plasma cutter. I think it's gonna do a great job. Honestly, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna last. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I don't know what the duty cycle is. It might only be able to do a few cuts at a time. I guess we'll find out as we use it, but so far, I mean, it's capable of doing the types of cuts that I need to do, because usually it's like cutting one piece of tube, then I work with the tube, weld it, cut it, do whatever I need to do, clean it, prep it, and by the time I get all of that done, then I can make the next cut, and by then the duty cycle, I'm sure, is, well beyond what we need. So I think it's a good little machine. I'm impressed so far. First day. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on to the next one.